have people wearing locks who are not Rasta, but they just love the look of the locks. You call them fashion dreads. They wear the locks because it looks good. They didn't wear it because of the concept of Rastafari. So they will be mistaken for a Rastafarian, but you really know a Rastafarian because of what he says or what he delivers.
Welcome to YardVibz TV. Please like, comment, share, subscribe.
Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, well, I don't wanna jinx it, baby. And twist myself at the spine.
The name Rastafari comes from His Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie. He was Rastafari before he was crowned Emperor Haile Selassie. Emperor Haile Selassie is his coronation name. We who saw him as a biblical fulfillment became known as Rastafarians. We are his sons and he is Rastafari and we are Rastafarians. Marcus Garvey had told us that we were to look to Ethiopia, and when a king is crowned, then we know that our deliverance would be at hand. Now that the king was crowned in 1930, followers of Garvey saw this as a fulfillment, and there the movement was formed. This is the site of the Great House where Leonard Howell once lived. He had purchased this property in 1934, 300 acres. And the inhabitants there were all Rastafarians, about 1,800 of them. And this is the top. Overlooking 2 or 3 parishes in Jamaica. You have Clarendon, St. Catherine, and you can see as far as Kingston. So this view covers 3 parishes of the 14 parishes in Jamaica. A very beautiful scenery. They used to cut Rastafarians' locks for nothing at all. So Rastafarians had to go down the gullies sometime in order to transport himself from point A to point B. If you walk on the streets, people would terrorize you also and call for the policeman and say, there goes a black heart man. And the police would come down on you for nothing at all. Emperor Haile Selassie's visit was amazing in that he was the only official or head of state to come to Jamaica and had such a large gathering. People went over the stairs, came downstairs and was around the foot of the plane, smoking herbs, you know, lighting up pipe. Police ran all over the place, soldiers. Protocol was completely broken down. It was thousands of people came to the airport in that day. Emperor Haile Selassie had to call for Mortimer Planner to take him from the plane steps because of the large crowd that gathered around the steps. The official spoke over a microphone and says, call in Mortimer Planner, call in Mortimer Planner. He came over in seconds and was right at the plane step with His Majesty. The first house really had no particular leader, away from Howell, who was the original leader. But after a while, men broke away, farm other houses, maybe because of location and things like that. A man will farm a house, give it a name. And in addition to that, by building up doctrines of their own, you might find little differences from house to house or between houses and houses. Rastafari really wants repatriation. We don't want migration. We didn't spend any money to come to the West. So most naturally, we shouldn't be responsible for going back to Africa, where money is concerned. The Jews got reparations, and we should have gotten it also. who want to go back to Africa, a part of the reparations can take us there. Who want to stay home, a part of the reparations can rehabilitate them who want to stay here. So we really need repatriation to go back to our own country to rebuild Africa. Well, drumming is really a part of the African culture. In Africa, the African use drums for various reasons. Even to send messages as a form of communication, to entertain themselves, rituals and dances. So we brought that with us here in the West. There is some form of spirituality in the beating of the drums. The sound goes down into the earth. It travels to the fire key, and the fire key ascends the fire and smokes into the atmosphere, which makes contact with the Almighty and with the energies of the world. Not until Bob Marley now become a Rasta and use reggae music as a vehicle to spread the word of Rasta internationally, that Rasta became international.
You don't know what there is too much trouble, too much trouble.
I was the one who cultured Rita Marley, Bonnie Wailers, Peter Touch, when Bob was in Delaware. When Bob came back from Delaware, they bring Bob to me, and he got a bit of the culture also. When I first introduced Bob to Mortimer Planner, the first thing that Mortimer tried to do was to get him to be independent in the music fraternity, so as not to depend on the producers who would exploit entertainers in those days. After being at Marty assisted in cutting some music for him, you know, music like Chances Are and Haile Selassie the Chapel, and music like those. As a matter of fact, Marty has a little hand in almost all of Bob's songs while he was with him, because he used to put in a line here and there, you know, and things like that. He really assisted him and strengthened him in the makeup of his lyrics. At the peace concert, Mortimer Planner was trying to get Bob Marley, to get the Prime Minister and the leader of the opposition to shake hands. When he told Bob, Bob said, "Oh boss, are you for do that, you know?" It's like he didn't think he could manage it. And 3 consecutive times he told Bob to do it. You have 2 parties, and the people that is educated cannot be used. That's why education is very important. They will probably look on politics as it is. But in the ghetto, you don't have a chance to make a choice for yourself. If you are in a PNP area, you have to say PNP. You have to defend your turf and terrain. If you're in a Labourite area, you have to say Labour, Jamaica Labour Party. So politics divide the people. You have good people on both sides in politics. Even the dons of the PNP and the dons of the Labour Party. They are good to their people that is under them or around them or surrounds them. But when it comes to the opposing party, there's always a crossfire. So I'd say politics divide the people in Jamaica. And good people too. People that could be good to the poor, there's a split. So you have good people fighting against good people in defense of a political party. And if a party is going to give you a thing or two, whether cash or kind, being a poor man, you'll be tempted to and attracted to get something. And then again, it's not all the poor people gets attention either. You know, it's only the diehards, those who gather around their ministers from day to day and from time to time and from campaign to campaign. These are the people that get benefits. But if they don't see your face, no benefits. Guns are used to fight against each other politically. And as far as public opinion is concerned, we have got to find out that these same very guns were given to the ghetto youths by the politicians in defense of their political party. These artists really try to sing and speak about their surroundings. Whatever they see in their surroundings, that's what they write in their lyrics. So it might appear at times that a DJ might be negative, but he's really speaking about the only thing he knows. We have people wearing locks who are not Rasta, but they just love the look of the locks. You call them fashion dreads. They wear the locks because it looks good. They didn't wear it because of the concept of Rastafari. So they will be mistaken for a Rastafarian, but you really know a Rastafarian because of what he says or what he delivers. Most movements, you don't even have to fight against it, and it dwindles. But this movement, mother fight against it, father fight against it, sister fight against it, brother, teacher, nurse, pastor, everybody, the whole system fight against it. And instead of it dwindles, it spreads globally. If you go to Japan, you'll find Rastafarians. If you go to Europe, you find Rastafarians. If you go to America, you find Rastafarians. And if you go to Africa, you have Rastafarians. And it really started from up here in Pinnacle. You had about 1,800 people to 2,000 people. And now I think you have a fair amount of people saying Rastafari in the world. Rastafari message of peace and love is just natural. Because even if you go biblical, the Bible speaks of love and it speaks of peace. And there's nothing better than peace. And the Rasta man has realized that and is trying to get across to the people to show them that it's better for us to live in love and unity and peace and harmony than fighting against each other.
Thank you for watching YardVibz TV. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe.